Hello, 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 friends. Hello. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I signed off of work not too long ago. So I just felt like doing some chill shiny hunting tonight. I hope anyone who's out there listening, you're having a great day and you're taking care of yourself. You're eating food, you're drinking water, you're stretching, you're, doing all those things. But yeah, just wanted to say I hope everyone's doing great. And let's get started. Wow. I apologize if there's random other noises. I had to plug in my controller and this cable is like hitting stuff on my desk. But yeah, today we're continuing the shiny hunt for Cottonee. In case you were not here before, I am hunting Cottonee because I had one in Pokemon Black and then lost my cartridge and Cottonee with it. But today we are going to hopefully reclaim my long lost friend. But yeah, if you're hanging out, you just want to chill and lurk, feel free. I'm just vibing. But yeah, I was saying that I signed off of work a little bit ago. Hello, how are you doing? I signed off of work a little bit ago, and I'm a programmer for a living. And where's the spot? I found sweet. And I found out that the script I was working on was completely unnecessary. So my entire week of coding, it didn't really amount to much. That's fine. That is fine. I was struggling with it anyway, and I got really confused. So now I'm not worried about breaking everything, which is always a plus. I also messed with my tracking a little bit, so hopefully I'm a little bit more lively today. The best code is code you get to remove. It really is. It was really just like, we have this like, I don't know what even to call it, but just like this place where people can like edit posts, and the like, we changed image formats, and so I was writing a script that would go and find the images in the incorrect format and fix them. But turns out if we just downloaded them and re-uploaded them, it fixed the format for us anyway. So I ended up getting really confused because they didn't even have a similar data structure all the time. Instead of being a like set object, it was just like loose JSON. So I had to wing it a lot. So that was fun. But the fact that I didn't have to worry about breaking everything made me a lot more comfortable. I was like, oh, okay. It's just like 900 files or something stupid. And I can only upload so many at a time. Hi! Ah, dang it. Wait. Meatball. Meatball. So much happening. I'm hoping I get a Cottonee today though. I've been I picked up my Pokemon Sun copy again, and I've been like trying to complete the Pokedex, and I found that in Pokemon Sun, the GTS, the Global Trade System, is completely busted. It's just like broken now. Someone hacked in a profile that has a broken profile image that the game can't process. So if you view a Pokemon that they posted, and they've just, uploaded fake Pokemon everywhere, if you look at one of their Pokemon, your entire game just completely dies. just crashes. Thankfully it doesn't like break your save file or anything, but you have to just take out the cartridge in order to like save it, because even holding down the like power button on the console doesn't fix it. You have to just eject the cartridge and hope that that makes the console crash, because otherwise you cannot turn it off. I know people figured out how to upload custom avatars for the Switch OS. People figured out how to do that? I mean, I guess the Switch has long since been jailbroken. It was a problem. I can imagine. But in like Pokemon Sun and Moon, it's just like a picture of your avatar. So it could not figure out how to render anything. But I've been trying to complete my Pokedex so I can get the shiny charm in Pokemon Sun, so that I could actually do some, like, while I'm not shiny hunting here, shiny hunt there, because I want to get a Alolan Raichu so bad. I want a Alolan Raichu so bad, and then maybe a Rockruff. Maybe also a Rockruff. I also was watching back the VOD from the previous stream, and I saw that I broke my chain at like 100. So, I mean, we're back to about that chain, hopefully, unless I broke it again, because I didn't watch the whole VOD, I just kind of hopped around. But I specifically saw me break the chain, and I went, oh no! I was completely unaware of my problem. I felt so confident now that I was doing the right thing. And there it is. Ah! Yeah, I still have my old release Switch, version 1 Switch, so that if I ever want to mess around with like modding or anything. I doubt I'd mod, but like, I doubt I'd make mods, but if I ever want to mess around with, you know, modded stuff. Oh, hey, sparklies. Ooh, an Ultra Ball! Ah, hi, Bounce Sweet! But how are you doing? I've mostly just been hanging out this week, playing a lot of Ace Attorney. Like, a lot of Ace Attorney. Like, every day. And it's been real fun! I've been having a great time. I've been really enjoying it. Makes me want to make a D&D character based off of their specific portrayal of Sherlock Holmes. Ratchet & Clank is good. Oh, it looks so good. I don't have the hardware. If I did, I would definitely own that game. I would absolutely own that game. My brother played a bunch of Ratchet & Clank when I was growing up, and seeing the new one, it was really exciting. There's also a weird FPS called Krunker. Haven't heard of that. What's it like? What makes it weird? Don't know why it's called that. Fair. I'll be honest, it makes me think of Knack 2 for some reason. It's Quake for Zoomers! Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Here to ah! Dang it, Crowdunk. He even has a dedicated hide my screen from my teacher button. Wow. It reminds me of when I was in high school, and I was in computer science class. A bunch of people played Isaac, the original version of Binding of Isaac. The Java version of Binding. I think, was it? No, sorry, the Flash version. I thought of Java because that's what we learned in that class. But everyone played Binding of Isaac, and the teacher absolutely hated it. She was like, you can't do anything other than work in my class. If you're done with work for my class, do work for another class. If you don't have any other work, read a book. Like, you are not allowed to goof off in her class for some reason. She was very strict about it. I remember I started just trying to learn how to draw with a mouse, because drawing otherwise was not seen as a productive task. It was also funny because I actually wasn't a member of her class. I was like a TA of sorts for her class. In my high school, whenever you took computer science for a couple years, you would get like a free study where you would have like a loose assignment to do every like week, and it was something small. Like I remember one of them was basically transpose keys on the keyboard. Like say you placed your hand like to the right on your keyboard. Make a script that would take stuff written in that and map it to normal keys. That was one of our assignments, and I just made like a map and mapped it. Oh. But I itchy nose. But I specifically remember the few things that I did in that class. Since I didn't have any strict assignments and the teacher didn't actually know how to code, I was sort of the de facto answer questions person. If someone got stuck, I would get pulled in to answer questions. I'd been doing that the previous year when she was first put onto the computer science like education track, because she really didn't know how to code. And so we were in another computer science class, and me and this one other person who always completed our assignments really early would go over to her classroom and help them like through their assignments. And so then when, I went around the second year, I was in her class because the normal like free study time slot overlapped with my band class. So I could not attend at that time slot. Band didn't happen at another time. That was the only time it could happen. So I would go to her class. I specifically remember like the few things I would do that was actually programming. I wanted to recreate some of my favorite games. And specifically, I mentioned Ace Attorney before. There was an Ace Attorney game that came out on the DS around that time. Most people don't really like it, but its sequel is one of my favorite Ace Attorney games in the entire franchise. And I like the gameplay style of it. It's Ace Attorney Investigations, which if you know anything about Ace Attorney, you play as the main character's rival, Miles Edgeworth, in those games. And you actually move around in areas instead of in the like point and click style that like the core series has. You would move around like in the actual environments, and so all I wanted to do was recreate one of those environments and make him move around and all that. And they had like the sprites, people had ripped the sprites on the internet, and so I used those to try and create a character controller and move him around, all in base Java. I did get one of the environments rendered, and it was too wide for me to render in a way that I thought it would let me keep the character in the same size that he was. So I split it up into two different areas that you could move between. And the day that I got that working, where if you walk to the right of the screen, you'd spawn on the left side of the screen in the second area, and if you walk back onto the left side of the screen, you'd spawn on the right side of the screen in the other area. I just walked back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I was so excited. I was just smiling, grinning from ear to ear, walking left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And the kid in computer science one next to me just looked at me and he's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, I did it! I probably looked like an insane person. Did you get the thing working during the... Yeah. That's really how it be. When you get the thing working, you're just so excited. I think the most like the furthest that project got was you could walk around in that environment and then there was like a sprite of a dog and you could walk up to the dog and interact with it and it would just say bark. It would just put up text on the bottom of the screen that said bark. But I mean, considering that was in base Java, I would not have the patience for that today. But it was fun. I mean, I got really excited. I think after that project, I would just do my normal projects and not do anything else. I just like did my homework in that class. Or drew pictures. I'm still not I wasn't a big reader back then. I still not. I just don't have the attention span for it. I want to be. I've been considering trying to get more into audiobooks. Specifically, I want to try listening to the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Partially because I've been playing Ace Attorney with a lot of Sherlock Holmes in it. And it makes me want to make, as I was saying before, a D&D character based on their portrayal of Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. That's okay. That's what it's called in Ace Attorney. The books still exist, and they're written by his like adopted daughter that's like Watson's daughter. She writes all the books. And they're called The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and he's very famous. And he's an idiot. I love him, and I really want to make a character whose name I haven't decided yet, but I'm leaning towards just calling him Hurley Shirley. Putting, I don't remember which one's book smarts and which one's like intuition-esque and like investigation points, but I want to put all his points into that and none of them into book smarts. Which I think wisdom is book smarts and intelligence is like normal like, intuition street smarts. But I want to put all his points into being like able to like intuit things, but he's like in actuality just a big ol' idiot, because that's what he's like in in Ace Attorney. Big ol' doof. I love him. And I wanted to call my character Hurley Shirley. I told my friend that, and she's like, oh, you need to have a time when someone goes, surely you're joking. And he's like, that is my name. Yes. Or someone just like saying to someone else, surely you're kidding. And he's like, I wasn't even saying anything. So I want to design him to be a big old doofball. Chaotic good. He'll just do anything for the sake of trying to be helpful. Yeah, okay. I was like, did I hit the key right now? Because it just sounds really fun to play like this character who's like, I will do the good thing, but will do like the most stupid stuff to accomplish it. Like, he'll just like run headfirst into trouble without thinking about it because he's just like, there's a thing over there. And then get mad when he can't kick down doors. Because he was told no. He's like, but there's a mystery on the other side of that door! I would have solved it, and then just kicks down the door anyway. Even if it gets him into trouble. But I want to try and have him be slightly more distinct, but mostly just Sherlock Holmes. I need to switch out the eggs before I get a bunch of levels and regret my life. Oh yeah. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Pop, 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 pop. Beep, pop, beep. Pop. Pop. Hi, Bounce Beat. Yeah, so that's one thing I've been thinking about doing. There's also Inktober coming up, and I'm excited to do that. I'm debating streaming some of it, some of my Inktober pieces. I don't think I'll fully delve into Inktober, but I've been trying to look for prompt lists. So I don't think I'll do the official one, because, I don't think I'll do the official one. I'll just leave it at that. but I saw a prompt list that was like cute girl Tover. And it was like design cute girls, and I love doing designs, and the first day was bunny, and I'm like, I wonder if there's a cute girl design that I have that I could draw that has some relation to bunnies. I wonder. No, I don't got any ideas. None at all. Ah! Definitely not my VTuber avatar. So I that one's been calling to me because I love character design. I find it very, very fun. So I thought that sounded like a good time. Hey, look, Ace Attorney music. I was just talking about that. Whoop. Water break. Too many Pokemon! So many small! I've been trying to find a good patch of grass. Because this area that Cottonee spawns is huge. So I've been trying to find the patch of grass I like the best. Oh, I looked up what anticipation does! Actually, I don't look it up. I just remembered between the last stream and this one. Anticipation activates when the opponent Pokemon has a move that's super effective against you. So, the fact that Krogunk shuddered meant that I had a move that was super effective against it, which in this case would be Wing Attack, I think. Whatever my flying move is, I think it's Wing Attack. It's not Flamethrower, that's for sure. Crit! I didn't need it, but crit! Yeah, so I've been thinking about that. I've also been thinking of, I don't think anyone from my D&D group is here or listening. I've been heavily considering making VTuber models of my D&D characters to switch to whenever I'm doing in-character stuff. Set up like an OBS setup that lets me switch between my IRL camera and my VTuber model of my D&D character, so I can switch to out of character chat because I have a couple D&D characters that are dudes. I just feel like it'd be weird talking out of character and just be like, hey! And it's this voice coming out of a dude, like this grumpy elf that just wants everyone to leave him alone, who just kind of sounds like this. He just wants everyone to go away. Just be quiet so we can get back to his reading. And then I'm just like, hi, I have a question. Yeah, with the OBS virtual camera. I've set it up to do my VTuber Vo4 in OBS just to show it to people a few times because I've like been asked by friends. They're like, can I see the thing you told me about with the VTuber whatever? So I set it up before and it's not too bad. So I was thinking of having like buttons on my stream deck to switch between like my camera and my VTuber for like D&D. I could also set up stupid sound effects. I have some stupid sound effects, like freaking... Wasn't me! But yeah, it's my stupidest sound effect. That's a lie. I have one that's stupider. I used that one specifically because it made one of my friends almost die of laughter one day, and I don't mean that as an exaggeration. I have a worse one. But there was one day that she just had the giggles, and I just kept playing it. Oh, thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you! I feel bad that I was playing fart sound effects when you said that. But thank you so much! That means a lot. I really like making this model. My tracking, I've like finessed a whole bunch. I don't have like you're also big quality. Thank you. But Yeah, I made the model. I just kind of did a bunch of research and watched a bunch of Progunk of tutorials on YouTube. There's a lot of really helpful videos. And I found like a couple that are like how to break down your art, how to actually do the rigging. I watched a couple time lapses of people like rigging VTuber models. And then I just kind of sat down one weekend and didn't really sleep and rigged my model and drew my model. But it was a lot of fun seeing it come together. The tracking that I use is called PRPR Live. I specifically bought the what's it called? Animoji DLC. And then I've worked with it a whole bunch, setting like my maxes and mins, so that they like are lively enough when I make like little motions so that I don't look dead, because like I don't know, I don't move too terribly much. So I had it be a little bit more sensitive than in reality, so I look a little more fun and bouncy. I think my favorite detail of my model is the little hoodie strings. I like making them waggle. When I was first messing with my model a whole bunch, I would just sit here and make the hoodie strings waggle. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I actually started messing with this style for a game jam, which if you don't know what that is, it's like a timed period where you develop a game from like concept to finish. And I did like a little pastel mindless game about baking cookies. And I really enjoyed doing that art style, so I basically just did it again for my VTuber model. And it's kind of become my aesthetic since then. I wasn't sure what to do for the background, but I started taking from like 90s geometric shapes, like an arcade carpet, and just kind of kept the general pastel color feel. Specifically, I think most of the colors are just like pastel reds, blues, and yellows. Yay! They're fun. I like watching them go. But yeah, I have a bad habit of not being able to do anything halfway. If I do something, I've gotta like I like learning how it's done, I guess. And I thought that VTubers seemed really neat. Because for the longest time, I've always felt like, oh, I don't really want to put my face on camera, but I don't want to like miss out on the emotiveness that adds. And then when I found out about VTubers, I was like, whoa, I want to do that. That sounds so cool. So I researched it, and I spent a lot of time before actually making the model, like watching so many tutorials, because I wanted to be able to do it before the like free trial of the program ended, because I didn't anticipate using the model very often, because I didn't have a specific use. I just wanted to make it. And it was a lot of fun. It took forever though. I think the drawing itself, because the way that the drawing part works is that each piece is like its own separate layer. So like each ear is its full own layer. The back of my head is a layer. Each part of this hair is a layer. There's like a bunch of layers in the back. Each half of the hood is a layer, each sleeve, so on. You get it? So I spent a lot of time on that drawing. I think it took me like 8 hours or something, which I don't usually spend too long on a single drawing, because I have a bad attention span. And then I just got really into the rigging. I think the first night I just did the mouth tracking. I just did mouth movement, and I specifically followed a tutorial by a YouTuber named Kira Omori, which is Kiraomori, I think. Kira Omori. And her lip or mouth video for rigging is really good. And I followed the like chart that she used for her like her mouth shapes so that I could get like the mouth tracking. And so I did that one in like on Friday evening, and then I spent Saturday doing like left, right, up, down, and then Sunday was cleaning up left, right, up, down, and doing the physics. Just like an entire weekend on just this, but I was very proud of it, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And at the time, I was feeling like really like burnt out and at work, because I had just kind of been like, you know, really pushing myself on work that wasn't necessarily what I wanted to be doing. So working on the VTuber model was like a breath of fresh air. And then just recently, I kind of did the same thing again with all my stream assets, like the layout and the BRB screen and the starting soon screen, and I can do this part, my emotes, there they go. And that was really fun. Don't kill the bee. The bee is bad to kill, don't do that. And my mic is one I bought off of Amazon. It was like the cheapest nice mic I could find that has like a mic stand and whatever. I have a little bit of filtering on it in Streamlabs and like a soundboard thing through voice mod to help clean it up a little bit. But I wanted to have a nice mic because I do silly voices with my friends over Discord. That's really why. After I got my mic, one of my friends got the same mic so that we could both be silly, but like hardcore about our silly voices that we were doing when we played visual novels together. So I do really appreciate like that. Like it really makes it worth it. Because I'm really proud of how it all looks and how the aesthetic looks. It just makes me really happy. Oh, thank you! Oh, that means so much! Thank you. That makes me smile. Just hearing that, like, you know, someone else has got a stupid smile on their face because of me, I don't know, that just makes me happy. Thank you. I just have fun with it. I like working on it. It makes me happy. Oh, there we go. Cottonee! Yeah, I just had a lot of fun working on it. It's and I was really happy with the way it came out. And I remember going to work on the Monday after, and it is Spirit Walk song. I remember going to work the day after, and then people being like, I was telling them about it, and they're like, "Whoa, do I see?" And I had to show them. I remember joining a meeting with it, and they were always like, "What the heck is that?" The expertise pays off whenever you want to do, and I've been debating it. It's been a while since I touched it, and I'm worried that I have too many layers that now that my free trial is run out, it won't let me edit the file. Because I made the entire thing in 2 days so that I wouldn't have to pay for it because it's very expensive. Like, very expensive. I think it's like $25 a month or something like that. And for just doing it for silly projects, wasn't even sure I was gonna use. I just wanted to learn how to do it for the sake of it. That intimidated me a little bit. But I have considered doing like very simple models for D&D sessions since my D&D group has had to go back to remote. I've debated making my characters into little VTuber models. I thought that would be fun. Cotton ball. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making it. I have debated like paying for it though if I ever want to like make little fun costumes for like Christmas or Halloween. Halloween's great. I love Halloween. In real life, I dabble. I'll say I dabble. I dabble in cosplay. So I love costumes. I love Halloween as an extension of that. I remember in college one time, I was walking with some friends, and we saw a bunch of people in costume, including one of our. I was with a group of people for a group project, and I remember we were walking around and everyone was in costumes, and one of our friends was like, "What the heck is going on? Is there a convention nearby?" We're like, "It's Halloween," and he was like, "Oh, that makes sense." And then he's like, we're like, "How did you forget it's Halloween?" And he was like, "I forget my own birthday sometimes." And we're just like, "What? Are you okay?" He was also like one of the hardest working friends in our friend group. He had a very dry sense of humor. And his roommate was very chaotic. They were a very interesting duo. No, but I love Halloween, so I've been thinking of like goofy things I could do for Halloween. Even though I'm not paying for the program right now, maybe I could, you know, tie that and making VTubers for my D&D characters into paying for it for a couple months. Just do it all at once. Do like a Halloween and maybe preempt a Christmas. Just make it a Nightmare Before Christmas vibe, you know. I was obsessed with The Nightmare Before Christmas as a kid. I was so obsessed with it that I actually printed out the script so I could memorize all of the songs. I don't remember most of them, I don't think. At least not most of the lines. I can remember, like, the choruses. But I would watch it all the time. It was my movie, and in a way, it kind of got me into drawing, because I would draw the characters constantly. I'd all have them all memorized. I would draw like the mayor, or Jack, or Lock, Shock, and Barrel. I just really liked the characters and the world. I remember, I think I wrote a fan fiction, not knowing what fan fiction was in middle school. About The Nightmare Before Christmas as like an AU of the world. It really is also the best world in Kingdom Hearts. Truly. I bounced because I adjusted in my chair. I was sitting on my leg weird. You truly go out printing the script hardcore. I had it in a binder. I had it in a binder in my bedroom that I think I still have to this day. Ah! Dang it, Krogunk. Yeah, I was also obsessed with Kingdom Hearts 2. Long after that. I remember getting all my friends into it, and I remember when one of my friends got into the first Kingdom Hearts game, they always got lost in Traverse Town, so I started getting paid in like a single dollar to draw people a map of Traverse Town, because I had the whole place memorized. And my friends kept getting lost. To be fair, I had a guidebook, so that helped me not get lost in Traverse Town. But my friends paid me like $1 to draw the maps of Traverse Town. I also remember that I would, me and my friends in high school, in like my freshman year of high school, had like this little composition notebook that we would pass between each other, between classes, and like do Kingdom Hearts roleplay that way with our cringy Organization 13 OCs. So I got very into things as a kid. I kinda do now, let's be fair. I tried to get my my boyfriend into Kingdom Hearts with the new, or the before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. I will also admit I could not finish Kingdom Hearts 3. I felt bad. I was looking forward to it so much for so long that when it finally came out, it was just kind of like, it's okay. As I kept going, I was just kind of like, I don't know, I don't like it as much as I used to as a kid. I remember being so excited for it. I've been wanting to go back and replay KH2 though. I really liked KH2. Also, I want to hang out with Axel. Which reminds me that I loved the freaking 358 over 2 days on the DS. I played that game all the time. Ah! Ah! Sparkly. Sparkly. You probably really cleaned up the battle system and patches. I may try it again. I think it was also just it came out at a time when I was really tired. And I was having trouble like getting into new games. And my like big thing at the time was what's it called? Like mystery games? I think I just talk about like night and day. I had just finished Danganronpa. I want to say when that came out. And I was like getting into 999 and I was really getting into me and my friend call it Dangle Grandpa. It's just been completely like morphed from Danganronpa to Dangle Grandpa. But I haven't really gone back to it since it came out. I've just kind of sat on it. I was right about to start the Frozen world and I heard that was the worst one. So I just kind of like fell off. I felt bad. Yeah, KH3 was releasing when I got burnt out from playing through Days Recoded. Ooh. Trying to catch up, I dropped it halfway through Dream Drop Distance and never looked back. Yeah, to be fair, I'd also missed a couple games. I had missed Dream Drop Distance and I had missed Recoded, I think. I didn't finish it, at least. My favorite one was 358 over 2 days, because I got to hang out with Axel. If you never played the freaking multiplayer in that game, you just got to pick an Organizational 13 member and just ran around. I would run around Halloween Town as freaking Axel and just be like, wee! It was the best. Way underrated. Cotton ball. Cotton ball. Yeah, I was really into Kingdom Hearts 2 and 58 over 2 in high school, and then I just kind of like moved on from Kingdom Hearts, and by the time 3 came out, it had been long since I'd really thought about it too much. And I'd missed a couple games entirely. Because by the time it hit the 3DS, I was kind of like not really playing my 3DS much. Except for like Pokemon. Too many games, too many systems, yeah. That's really the way it is. They just kind of like spanned every system imaginable. I also really struggled with getting through Birth by Sleep. I got through Aqua's playthrough, I think. And then I really couldn't get through, No, I got through Roxas, and then I struggled to get through Aqua, and I heard Terra's was the best, so I'm like, I'll save that one for last. And then couldn't get through Aqua, so I never played Terra's. I beat Roxas's, or not, his name isn't Roxas, Ventus. Wow. Don't look at me. I promise I've played Kingdom Hearts. I promise I'm not lying. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they look exactly the same. Exactly the same. It's okay, nobody truly understands the story. I watched Barry's summary of Kingdom Hearts a bunch of times. If you've never seen that, it's really good. Pause. Play. Yeah, there we go. Oops, I forgot to switch for eggs. Sure. No, oh no. Absorb. Get rid of absorb. I'm gonna do this for all of the freaking Cottonees. Learn Mega Drain instead. Grew level 13. Wants to learn Mega Drain. Forget a move. Sure. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. It's gonna be wild having a level 60 if I catch it in the wild. Hey, that was not an intentional joke, but hey. It's gonna be wild catching one in the wild. Yeah, I was obsessed with The Night Before Christmas as a kid, so I do remember that when I got to when I originally played Kingdom Hearts, though, I had never seen the movie. Kingdom Hearts was actually the first time that I'd been to Halloween Town, like, you know, metaphorically speaking. I had not seen it before, and I thought it was cool, but I didn't know what it was from. I think it was what made me look into it, and then I freaking fell in love with that movie. And I remembered, like, just getting really excited. And then when I saw the movie, and I later went back and played, I was like, oh! It all fell into place. 245. But I remember when I got into the movie, like, I would draw the characters all the time, and I wrote my fan fiction, and I printed out the scripts so that I could learn the songs. And my friends on the school bus, who I don't think I've talked to since middle school, I would be like, I learned a new song, and I would like, they'd be like, sing it for me, and I would like very nervously sing it for them. I'd be like, what's this? What's this? There's lots of in the air. What's this? There's everywhere. What's this? And I would just like mumble my way through the song. I feel like I don't remember. I feel like I said there's something in the wind. I feel like treasures in her hand. But I mean, clearly I still somewhat remember them. Ironically, What's This is my favorite song. I remember the least of it. Oh, I know, I knocked over my fidget cube. I knocked it down! Thinking back, I remember when I got to Halloween Town, or Christmas, was it Christmas Town? I know that they had a Christmas section. I don't remember if the world was called Halloween Town or not. But when I got to it, I just still think it's so funny that there's like a skateboarding mechanic in Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, I forget about these things. But I remember skateboarding around Santa's workshop. Like, why was that there? I did it. I can't remember. I remember that there is like a bit of Halloween Town, because I think I get it confused with the, here, this will show you how much of a nerd for The Night Before Christmas I was. I played the video game. I played the Nightmare Before Christmas video game on the PS2. And, sometimes I get that confused with the Kingdom Hearts area. But it was good. I liked it. I don't know if it's actually objectively good, but I liked it. It was an adventure game and a rhythm game. You would do like rhythm segments in the middle of boss fights where you'd have to do like button presses at specific times to defeat the boss. And that was a thing. I remember that the way that the story of the game worked was it was supposed to be a sequel to the movie. I think it was called Oogie's Revenge. And the movie ends with them saving Santa and making him go do his job because they ruined it. And then they're maybe okay. They're maybe like still with each other. And the game is about Oogie Boogie coming back and like trying to take over Halloween Town, and by extension, Christmas Land. weird. It was a weird game. There was like, I remember a boss fight with Dr. Finkelstein, who they called Dr. Finkelstein, I think. Even though that I don't remember. One of those two is how it's actually pronounced and one of them is not, and it's what they use in the game. I don't remember. But I remember that they had like a boss fight with him because like Oogie Boogie brainwashed him or something. And there's like a level where you go into the graveyard and have to find like these little weird tree people. It was very strange. It was a weird game. But I remember that you could get like costumes that had different powers, like a Santa costume that let you throw presents to distract enemies, and the Scarecrow costume that let you breathe fire. But it was always weird that every boss fight had a rhythm mechanic, and the final boss was freaking impossible. I think I died to that boss like 1,000 times. Exaggeration, but like 1,000 times. Probably in reality it just took me like 30 tries or something, but it took so long to get through. I'd always lose at the rhythm segment at the very end. It was just like a 20-minute boss fight. Very long boss fight. But I wanted to know how it ends. It wasn't that interesting. I don't remember anything about how it ends. So I guess I failed. I don't know how it ends. But I remember having fun with it. It was just like a surprisingly long game. It probably wasn't that long, I was just little. But, you know, that's how it happens. I do remember when I was a kid, most of the games I played I had like guidebooks for, and I think I had the guidebook for that game too, and it had lots of cool art of the characters. I remember you always saved using Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde's, because Dr. Jekyll was like a dude with top hats, and he would lift up his top hat and there would be more little dudes underneath it, and they would always go, "Would you like to save? Save? Save?" as he like takes off his top hat. Like, don't forget to save, save, save. Like had his own echo going on or something. It was charming though, because you got to meet all of the like residents of Halloween Town and all the characters. That was the neat part. I liked that. Did you see the big reveal that they did in the cave? No, no I didn't. I forget that there's a Kingdom Hearts mobile game. I fell off the Kingdom Hearts train so hard. I tried with Birth by Sleep, but after that I couldn't hang on. The train went too fast. I was in college at the time too, I think, so that made it harder. Not only is there a mobile game, there are multiple. Of course. Of course there are. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, they put critical plot and details in them. aka important lore behind the online gacha game. I was gonna say, I bet one of them is a gacha game. I've played gacha games. Specifically, I've been playing Pokemon Masters, and I played a little bit of Genshin Impact, which, it was my birthday on Tuesday, like my actual birthday, and I logged on to Genshin and they gave me a cake. I didn't know what to do with it, but if you used it, it gave you like in-game currency, and I was like, okay, thanks. But I've also been playing Pokemon Masters, and that game is a grind, but I really wanted to have cute little Pokemon trainers that I love. Haven't added my boy Alistair yet, though. My boy. Which, for those who don't know, I actually cosplayed Alistair from Shield. I'm short, and so cosplaying a child works out okay for me. I remember I posted it on Instagram and someone's like, but Alistair's a boy! And I'm like, he also doesn't exist! There's legitimately very cool sequence in KH3 that uses player usernames from— That's cool! That's awesome! I ran into a bound speed. I think posting my Alistair was also the first time that I got like the weird Instagram comments. Or, like weird Instagram DMs. And it was like, you can't see anything in my Alistair cosplay. Like there is not like an ounce of me that's like uncovered. I'm wearing a mask, a wig, long sleeve shirts, a glove on one hand, tights, high socks. Sorry friend, but everything you're looking at is a lie. I just thought it was funny because it's like, what are you? I'm cosplaying like a 10-year-old who covers up everything because he's shy. Like, I don't know what to tell you, friend. The problem with people caring about what you cosplay as. Eventually, do have some of my favorite characters. Yeah, totally, do it! Ironically, I think I've mostly cosplayed dudes because I just don't really care. But I usually cosplay like cute, like small characters. Like I cosplayed, I guess you wouldn't be super surprised with my bunny ears. I cosplayed Momiji from Fruits Basket, and I actually made like a headband with ears. I'm mostly a prop maker more than like a cosplay maker. So I'll like buy costumes and then like make props for them to like put them over the edge. So I made like a Momiji with like faux fur bunny ears that you could pose because they had like wire inside. I liked those a lot. I thought they were very cute. And then and then Alistair. Alistair was a fun project because I made the full costume. I made the costume like before the game even came out. I'd started on at least planning for the costume, and when the game actually came out, I took like hundreds of screenshots during his gym battle, and funny enough, because of that, I know some interesting Pokemon lore, if anyone's curious. Like stupid lore that no one would care about. But, both the companies that, if you've played through Sword and Shield, you know that maybe you haven't noticed, but each gym is actually sponsored by an in-game company. And all of those companies are also companies that can give you Pokejobs from the PC. And so from that, I was able to get the like logo for the company that sponsors Alistair, which I don't remember what it's called exactly, but it's an insurance company, which I thought it's a life insurance company for the ghost. I thought that was funny. The ghost gym sells life insurance. The fighting type gym B is sponsored by a construction company for comparison. And both of those companies are also owned by Rose's company, which I found interesting. Chairman Rose is in charge of both the ghost, or the life insurance company and the construction company. But the most interesting tidbit that I learned from cosplaying Alistair is one that I will interrupt this hunt to show you, because I've never been able to share it in a forum. I've just like shown individual people. But I slightly learned how to read the text in this game because I had to trace a lot of it for Alistair's jersey, because all of the graphics that I did on Alistair's jersey I traced by hand. So in case anyone needs a reminder, let's pull up Alistair. So here's my boy. That's his secret one. Where is his normal one? Here's my boy. And I had to trace all of these from screenshots and things, mostly initially from trailer footage, because I got started on this before the game came out. But like all of these little icons, as well as his number on his shorts, on the back of his jersey, were all from tracing screenshots. But like you can get the logos for the company in like Pokejobs, and the logo for like the sports company that makes their jerseys, which I've called Galler's Nike. It's like Galler's Nike, and then obviously I'm pretty sure that this text on his shirt is text that translates to Japanese, which translates to gosto, because gosto, I can't say it. I think it's gosto. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Ghost with like a long like O sound, which would be 4 characters in Japanese. I think similarly on the back of his jersey, which you can't see here. Oops, I didn't mean to take a screenshot. I would like to close out of that. Also, there's my my trainer card. I think similarly on the back of his jersey, I think it translates to his Japanese name, Onion or Onion. But the interesting piece that I found when doing all my tracing for my Alistair cosplay is all of the gym leaders on their shoulders have the gym league's logo, which is also on all of the like gym staff and everything. So this says like that lower word is like stadium. They're not consistently translated, which is frustrating. So like you can't just say this matches this letter. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. But this up on the right says Galler League. You can kind of almost read Galler with the like the weird G looking thing. That's a G. The weird like triangles, those are A's. The upside down L, that's an L. That weird other triangle that's like the A's but upside down is an R. Cool. Galler League. Gallar LE. This one's the misspelled one actually, because if you look at this bottom text down here, the bottom one with the weird wiggy waggy W that's sideways is the L. The 3 lines is an E. Then the upside down A is an A. And then the like greater than is a G. The V with the underline is a U, and the 3 lines is an E again. Galler League. This big texture, which is also the texture used on the gym leaders, is typoed. It says Galler Legue, because it's Legaue instead of League. This one is the correct one. This one is the incorrect one. They're different. They're not the same. And the incorrect one is on all of the gym leaders. That's your fun fact for the day. The gym leaders have typos on them. So that's fun. So now you know that says Galler League, and the top one is misspelled. So when I was making Alistair's cosplay, I had a conundrum of, do I fix the typo? Statues are the same. Yeah, they are! Isn't that cool? These statues are the same ones as in, like, Kanto. I like it. Yeah. Here, I could probably do this to be better. Misspelled. Correct. Misspelled. Correct. There you go. And that's the one that's on the gym leaders. So when I was making Alistair's costume, I had to decide whether or not to fix the typo. Oops, I closed my game. That's the wrong button. What? But yeah, so sometimes the Galler things can be translated. I ended up going with the typo. I did end up going with the typo because it is technically accurate. Because if let me see. Oh, he doesn't have it on his shoulder. Oh wait, he has it on his chest. That is the way that it is on all of their clothes. It's just a lower quality asset. Thank you for looking at me. I didn't want you to. Yeah, I know. I know no one would know, but then I knew. I knew I had a typo on my arm. Though I will say, when I was cosplaying Alistair at the convention, it was the last convention I was able to go to before lockdown started. But when I was cosplaying as Alistair, I ran into this little kid, and he was like, "You're from Pokemon, aren't you?" And I went, "Yeah." I just nodded because I'm Alistair. I can't talk much. So I like nodded. It's like, you're a gym leader, right? And I was like, I nodded. And And his sister like looked over and she's like, I beat your gym. And I just like held out my hand to her to shake her hand because, you know, that's what they do in this game. When you win, you shake their hand. But then her brother was like, I was trying to catch a Steelix. I found one and I tried to catch it, but I didn't. And so I just like deflated my whole body to be like, oh no, that's so sad. But it was really cute. He wanted to tell me about his Steelix that he didn't catch. It might have been an Onyx, but you know, same idea. He found the Onyx, just like so excited to catch it, but then he failed. I was just like, oh no. The one other cool thing that I did with my Alistair cosplay is I had glowing eyes that I could trigger with a button in my gym leader glove. That said, it broke on the first night of the convention. But on the first day of the convention, I was walking around the expo hall and I would see people like looking at me from afar. And sometimes I would see that, you know, like they're looking at my Alistair and they're like, oh, cool. And then I would look at them and turn on the glowing eyes and they'd be like, whoa! You know, three who've grown up with Pokemon for whatever reason, the gen after Gen C is formerly called. I don't know. But yeah, that's a good point. There's 3 whole generations of Pokemon kids. Wow. Clearly the gen after Gen Z would be Sun and Moon. I'm not funny. Because they never made Pokemon Z. But there was like this group of dudes I saw that was like looking at my costume from afar and they're like, well, that's cool. And I just like turned and looked at them and turned on my glowing eyes and like cocked my head. They were like, whoa, can we get a picture? And there was this one guy who apparently had like chased me down from another part of the convention hall. And he was like, Alistair. And I turned around and looked at him and he was like, can I get a picture, please? I wanted to ask before, but I got nervous. And I was like, and I just nodded. And my friend who was with me was like, oh, she'd love that. And so we were posing to take the picture. You know, I put my arms up the way that Alistair does, cock my head to the side the way that he does, and he looked at me and he's like, "Are you ready?" And I looked at him, turned on the eyes, and he like jumped like 5 feet in the air, and he was like, "Ah!" His friend who was taking the picture was like, "What happened? Are you okay?" I was like, "Are you good, man?" But I just thought it was really funny. But it was kind of cool, like, playing a character that doesn't talk much. I know that he does talk in the games, but I didn't, like, not a lot of people. He doesn't say a lot of words, he's very shy. I'm gonna say feels bad for the kids who have to memorize 1,000 plus. There's technically not 900 yet. Technically. Or like 898 or something like that. Not quite. Not quite 1,000 yet. Though I will say that I think there was research done that said there's like a specific part of the brain for people who grew up playing Pokemon that's dedicated to remembering Pokemon names. So that's a thing. I apparently have a piece in my brain that's dedicated only to this information. Maybe that's why I'm bad at other things. Because my brain only has room for Pokemon. I probably should have healed while I was in Motostoke. Was that Motostoke? I probably should have healed wherever I was. I don't remember the name. Motostoke is a starting town, right? Oh, I'm bad at lots of stuff. I'm probably the most bad about like I'd say I've tried to make music before. So I feel like really talented. That is so sweet. Thank you. Oh gosh. My cheeks are red now. I'd say that I'm a jack of all trades, master of none type of person. I do lots of random stuff, but I never get too deep into any of them. Like, I could probably be, you know, if I focused on something, I could be better at any of them individually. But I tend to just kind of, I hop from hobby to hobby to hobby and then cycle around. So I have lots of different stuff that I like to do. Yeah, you do know the rest of the saying. Jack of all trades, master of none, but better than master of one. I think, like, it's kind of just a thing that as I've grown up, I experiment a lot with things I like to do. And I tend to not like to put them down until I kind of generally figure out how they work. With certain things like drawing, I've been doing them kind of my whole life, but I kind of dip in and out of doing them, like, consistently. When I was a kid, I drew a whole lot. Like, I loved to draw Neopets. I had the Neopets magazine, which I don't know if that's a thing anyone remembers that existed, but I had the Neopets magazine, and I would copy the illustrations in it. I would try to, like, duplicate the posing and the characters, both, like, the fairies and the Neopets, so it wasn't, like, just Neopets, but, I would try to copy the illustrations in that. And then I kind of branched out into drawing Pokemon, surprising no one. Gonna go play Rainbow Six. Have fun! Thanks for coming out, I appreciate it. Hope you have a good night. But I would replicate the drawings in the Neopets magazines, and then I would replicate drawings in, like, other guidebooks that I liked, including I would replicate drawings in, like, or character art sprites. There he goes! Of, like, the character art in the, like, Kingdom Hearts guidebooks, and the Wind Waker guidebooks, and I remember when Mystery Dungeon was gonna come out, I would, copy the art from, like, the promotional material for that. So that was a thing. I think that's when I really started branching out of not just copying. I would start taking them and altering them slightly, changing the pose, like, adding in another Pokemon that I copied from somewhere else and started, like, branching out into what I did. And then Nightmare Before Christmas is what got me into, like, really drawing things just straight from my head to the paper. But sometime in early middle school, like late elementary school, in between there, the first few times I tried to, oops, I didn't mean to run. Oh, it's fine. It doesn't hurt my chain. The first few times I tried to, like, just draw from my head, I remember I was excited to go to middle school, and I drew a picture of what was supposed to be, like, a girl in her locker. I showed it to my brother, and he's like, cool, is that a pirate? And I was like, no. It's like, kind of looks like a pirate. And that made me sad. And so, you know, drawing is kind of a thing that I've like gone back and forth with, but savage. I mean, to be fair, he was like 8. But I sort of like fell off of drawing for a bit there, and I got back into it later with Pokemon and Nightmare Before Christmas, and then I fell off of it again, and then when I got into anime, I would draw anime characters, and I kind of then consistently did it now and again after that point in high school. And then I really got better at it when I was in college, and I drew a lot of fan art for video games I liked, including Undertale and I'm sure I've drawn Animal Crossing fan art, and Ace Attorney, and those are kind of my big ones that I draw a lot of fan art for. So yeah. And then only recently I've been kind of trying to branch out again and figure out my art style, which has landed here currently. This is currently my art style. This lineless, kind of goofy, somewhat chibi-ish art style. Though I do have like a full body non-chibi version of this art style, but I like this for my VTuber model. Also less complicated, takes slightly less time to draw. Which is good when this drawing already took a long time. Itchy nose. But in between those hobbies, I've also tried to learn how to do creative writing. That's one that I'd really love to get better at. It's so hard. The hardest part is just actually doing it. I'm so bad about actually sitting down and writing. I want to write a book someday, though. That's like a thing on my bucket list. I'd love to like finish the book that I've been on and off writing since high school, and which I am long since out of high school. My characters for that book are over a decade old. I would love for them to see the world, even if no one reads it. But that's been like a dream of mine, like a bucket list thing, is to publish a book. Even if I self-publish it, I'd love to share it with the world, even if only to say that I did. 'Cause I like my characters. They're goofy. I draw them sometimes. Not super often these days. I should draw them more, but I've been hopping between stuff. I think another like thing I'd love to do someday is I'd love to make a small indie game. I think like the bucket list on that one would be get a game that I made, or worked on at least, on the Switch. That would be like a dream come true. Maybe not necessarily on the Switch, but on like a Nintendo system, because I don't have a feeling people will be playing their Switches by the time I get around to that. So, I've had ideas for like visual novel-esque games, Ace Attorney-esque games, mystery games, because I love puzzle and mystery games. But I'm bad at music. I'm horrendous at music. I played music in high school, but ask me to make a song? Can't do it. I don't even know where to start. I can't. I have a piano in my apartment, as if you can call like a cheap keyboard a piano. And I play it sometimes, but I mostly just kind of noodle around on the keys. It's like a stress thing. Whenever I get too stressed, I can sometimes noodle around on the keyboard, and it just kind of helps me relax. But it's mostly just like scales, basically. Nothing interesting. Oh, things I am bad at. Bad at remembering the names of stuff. Oh, thank you. That means a lot. That means so much. But something I am bad at, I can never remember, other than Pokemon. I can't remember like the names of things. Like when I'm trying to describe something at work, or I forget words all the time. I'll forget like what something's called, or the word I'm looking for mid-sentence. I have a bad attention span. There's lots of stuff. I gotta heal. Wait, what are you doing here, dude? Whee! Hello, sir. Rare item, only 100 watts, sure. Looks like a deal. Small experience candies. Rip off. Town map. Yeah, was it Motostoke? Yeah! Like, I'll be talking mid-sentence and just, like, suddenly forget the word, like... I don't know. I forgot, like, really simple words before. Like, I'm sure I would forget what scissors are called. if I was having a particularly bad day. Or something as named as awful, especially when I remember in the other language. Yes! Yes, that happens to me too! When I was in high school, I took Spanish class, but when I was in college, I took Japanese. And sometimes I'd be like, what's strawberry in Japanese? My brain would go fresca, which is Spanish for strawberry. And I'm like, that's not right. Ah! It's like, what is it? What is it? It's Ichigo, by the way. Oh, fresa. See, I'm stupid. I forget things all the time. I've convinced myself it's fresca, and you cannot convince me otherwise, apparently. I've been corrected so many times. Every time I've told this exact story to my friends or family, and they're like, oh, it's fresa, actually, and I'm like... I'm like, well, clearly I don't remember it in any language. It's just the one I remember when I try to, like, because I remember, like having that happen on, like, a test. in my Japanese class. I was like, what's strawberry? What's strawberry? Like panicking, and then only remembering the wrong word for strawberry in Spanish. I'm not good at the memories. I remember when I was in like college and I was interviewing for jobs. I'm a programmer. They'd be like, do you know what this is? And I'm like, no. And it turns out I did. I just didn't know what it was called. And they would be like, okay, how about this? Do you know what this is? And I'm like, no. And then they would explain it to me and I'm like, oh wait, yeah, I do know what that is. But they wouldn't believe me at that point. They'd be like, define this. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I don't know that word. So I'm bad with words. I'm bad with, bouncy because I adjusted my chair. Bad with communication. And sometimes I'll remember like a completely fancy word for no reason. Be like, I'm trying to think of a word for like, when someone's happy. And I remember instead of the word happy, I think of like, jubilant. And I'm like, that is not, it's not the word I wanted, but okay. I did play flute in high school though. I mentioned music earlier. I did play flute in marching band. And I was somewhat decent at it, mostly out of spite. The other flute players in the section didn't really like me a whole lot. They were all like very stereotypical, like if you've seen the movie Mean Girls, they weren't that bad. I'm exaggerating, but they kind of just had the same kind of cliquey, like if you're not with them, you're against them, kind of like kind of vibe going on. And they didn't like me. They did not I did not fit in with their clique. I was the oddball playing Kingdom Hearts 358/2 on her DS, or Phantom Hourglass, the game that even Zelda fans don't like, on her DS. Instead of talking to them about boys, I was I was fawning over a stupid pirate man who's taking care of a 10-year-old going around in the ocean who's also running away from his ex, which is Lineback from Phantom Hourglass. In case you never played it, he's a doof. I love doofs characters. But they weren't fans of me. I didn't really fit in, so they were kind of like not the nicest to me. But that said, oh, I ran into Pound Speed. But that said, I had a couple of friends in the flute section. Specifically, I made friends with ones who also played video games. I made one friend in that we were on a beach trip with the band, and she was in the same room as me because I knew her from elementary school. That was like, she was in my Girl Scout troop, but otherwise I didn't really know much about her. But we had like a time where we could go back into the beach, or back onto the beach. We could dissolve into the sand. We could go back onto the beach at the hottest part of the day, or we could like relax in our rooms. And we just so both happened to pick relax in our rooms, and then we were both playing Spirit Tracks. And she heard me playing in the other room, and she came out and she was like, is that Spirit Tracks? And then we tried to spend the rest of the time getting both of the links in our separate games to play songs at the same time, because in Spirit Tracks there's like a pan flute that you can play by blowing into the microphone and moving the pan flute on the bottom screen. So she was my friend, but she wasn't in like the same level of band as me, because we had like different like concert bands. So we only really hung out outside of concert season, usually during marching season. But during concert season, all of the ones that didn't like me were in my same band with me. Like, to the point that one of them would yell at me if I got like a good part in a song. Like, she explicitly yelled at me one day because the band director was like, hey, put her on the good part. Put her on the, on the good part. And put this girl on the other part. And like the lead flute player like took me aside and like yelled at me and told me I didn't deserve it. Like, they did not like me. So when it was gonna be my senior year, I'd been getting a lot better at flute because I'd found a teacher I really liked. Like a teacher who believed in me and didn't like just discount me and be like, no, don't play it like that, play it like me, which I had a teacher that did that. I did not like him. I didn't think he sounded good, so I didn't want to play like him. But they were very nice to me, but that teacher was very nice to me, and she was very good and very smart and like stupid talented. Like obviously she was a professional like flute player, and so she was very, very good at what she did. And she taught me good ways to learn my music, and I was always really bad at actually learning how to do the technical part of music, like the moving your hands really fast to play all the notes at the right time. I was a lot better at sounding pretty. I could play a song that sounded nice, like a nice little like doo 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 doo. But if I had to go like we had songs that went like I could not do that. Without like a month of practice. And some of the other flute players could learn that without too much trouble, whereas I could not. So I wasn't very good because a lot of the things that like place you are generally more technical. They're more like type of stuff. But I was pretty. I could sit there and look pretty. Oh, I don't know what it was from. I've never watched Naruto. So I don't know. But maybe Naruto has entered my subconscious. I would not be surprised. But I was not good at the technical fast stuff, but my teacher helped me learn how to get better at it. So for my senior year of high school, I like buckled down. I'm like, I am gonna be good this year. If only because the rest of the flute players keep telling me I'm bad, especially the lead one, who's the same age as me and has been in the top band since I was a freshman. I'm gonna be first chair. I'm gonna be the top flute in the school because I wanna be. And so I practiced really hard, and at the end of the school year, the band director said, all right, on my junior year, she's like, okay, chair tests were inconclusive, which basically means like they couldn't pick who was ranked where. So she's like, so when we come back from summer, you're gonna play scales for us, and that's how we're gonna decide. So the whole summer, I went ham on my scales. I practiced as hard as I could, as much as I could, in the month leading up to summer band, which, in case you've never been in marching band before, you have like, instead of the normal summer break that everyone else gets, you lose a month to band camp, basically. So at the start of band camp, we were gonna take our chair tests again. So they'd picked what band people were in, but they hadn't picked where people were within that, so that school scheduling could still happen. But I went hard learning my scales. I'm like, I am gonna win. I am gonna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. Anyway, I really wanted to just, to prove to them, to myself, that I could do it. That I could be good. And so I worked real hard at it, and come the beginning of the school year, they posted, they had to come the like second week of band camp or something, they had us do the scale tests. And they or like just before, I don't remember exactly where it landed. I think it was just before band camp really got into full swing. And they posted the results. And I remember going up to the drum major, who, if you don't know, is like the student leader of the band. They're the conductors for marching bands and are the ones with like the most authority. And he was like, hey, the results are posted. I was like, oh, did I? And he was like, I think you'll be pleased. And I was like, wait, do you mean it? Do you mean that I? And I ran over to the results, and sure enough, it was like me first chair, and I was so happy. And mostly just because, you know, through all of the like bullying that I'd gone through with the other like flute players, it was just like so satisfying. It was like, ha, 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 I win. And the funniest part about that is that I was like a section leader, which in the marching band, which means like I was a person who helped teach people how to march. If someone was struggling, they would come to me, that sort of thing. And the people who didn't like me also were, especially the person who used to be the first chair. She especially didn't like me, and now we had to work together. And I just stole her first chair. She didn't talk to me for like a week, but that was okay. I remember that, boop, hang on, the music broke. I remember that, there was a time when we were practicing. There was a time that we were practicing, and the band director was like, everyone stop, you're not playing it right. And then she pointed at me and she's like, play it. I freaked out, and I played it the way that I would, you know. And she's like, did everyone listen to that? Play it again. And I played it again. And she's like, I want everyone else to play it like that. And then at the end of that practice, the person who had been mean to me all those years, the person who had stood in my way, had yelled at me and told me I wasn't good enough, her face went entirely red and she stomped out of the room. Very satisfying moment for me. Later into the year, there's a thing called Region Band, where you have to like prepare a specific piece and go and play to a bunch of blind judges to pick who played it the best. And I worked very hard for that too. And I was in the same room as the girl who hated me and came out on top in that room too. And I was just like, I proved that it wasn't a fluke. And then the very next day I failed and did very bad. And so she got back to on top. But since then, she'd never bothered me for the rest of my senior year of high school, because I'd proven I belonged. I proved I was second chair for the rest of the school year. And she went back to first, but she never bothered me about not being good enough ever again. I took that. I took that victory. We take those. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Not shiny. So I played music back then, but I had to work really hard to be decent at it. I liked playing though, it was a lot of fun. I didn't necessarily like band, but I liked playing. I didn't necessarily like band because people were mean to me. Drink some water time. Don't forget to drink water. Water is importante. Thank you. It's one I remember well. Band was fun. Band had some cool stories. I remember I was never really involved in a lot of the cool stories because I was always very nervous about getting in trouble. But there were people that like did really stupid stuff when I was in band. Like we had this little room off the band hall that they used to store like marching equipment, which could be like really big coolers for like drinks or water or like drum equipment and stuff like that. There was a big sink in there. There was like giant metronomes. It was just like an equipment room. And there were guys who managed the equipment room and would take important stuff to like marching games, football games. They're games about marching. No, they're about the football. The football games and stuff like that. And they would like hide stuff in the roof or the ceiling panels of that room. They would hide like candy and Gatorade in the ceiling. And it took a while before they got caught. I also remember once on a band trip, someone got duct taped to the ceiling with their instrument. I think it took a lot longer to get down the instrument than the person. The band directors had to get called in. There was another time that the band directors were off on a trip, and someone got locked in a locker, and a parent called them and was like, "Help! What do we do? One of the kids is locked in a locker." And he was like, I don't know. What am I supposed to do? I'm on the other side of the country. What do you want me to do? And then from then on, he always had a bolt cutter in his office so that you could cut off locks of lockers in case anyone else got locked in a locker. I also remember there was a time that the percussion players, or the players who play the drums and the xylophone and the triangle and all those types of instruments, they had their own room to store their instruments, like the xylophones. And sometimes when the band directors were out of town, they would make graves in there. The tuba room, which stored all the tubas, could also have giant stacks of chairs made in it that became known as tuba forts. And I remember one time the band director was leaving and he was like, "Hold down the fort," and I don't just mean the tuba room. There was not currently a fort of chairs made at the time. Yeah, I think music is probably one of the things I'm the weakest on as a person, but also probably memory. My memory is that of a potato that has been mashed and then fried. I can remember general stuff, and I can get on a roll and remember things, but if you just ask me to remember stuff, I just go, what? Huh? Who? Where? What? Why? A-I-O-U, and sometimes why? Which, sometimes makes streaming difficult because I can't always think of something to say. But I do my best. I do my best. I like doing silly voices. When I play the original novels with my friends, we pick characters and we voice them. And one of my favorite characters, the voice is this chaotic southern lady from Ace Attorney named Lotta Hart. She just yells a lot, so it does tire out my throat and my voice, but it is fun. She's very goofy. And she sounds a little bit like this. She's got a very heavy southern drawl, and she's talking about why you Yanks don't leave her alone. I also, because I tend to do the silly voices with Ace Attorney characters, have done a lot of dude voices. That's a thing that's very difficult for someone whose voice is as high-pitched as mine. There's so many bound sweet. So many bound sweet. So many bound sweet. Oh, gimme. Dang it, Rabambi. That's fun. I need to play an Ace Attorney game, but man, my backlog eternal. Honestly, same. There's so many games I want to play. Honestly, I don't think I'd be keeping up with Ace Attorney as well as I do if I hadn't gotten so into it in high school. Which honestly, I found the games. Whoa! Oh my gosh! Whoa! That's a full-on shiny? Hang on! Guys! I found a full-on shiny, and that's a good one, too! Holy cow! Okay, I don't know what to do now. Premier Ball, go! Please? Please? Ah! Yeah! Yay! Not what I was going for! Not what I was going for, but I will take that! Holy cow! Oh, I gotta name this little guy! Oh, he's so cool! No, wait, no! I gotta look at him! Let me look at him! Oh, it didn't let me name him! Yeah, look at this guy! Look I need to spam my own emote. Hang on. I just want to get it across the screen. Yay! Oh, I'm going to name him right now. That was a full odds, too. I mean, I have the shiny charm, but still. That was full odds. Holy crap. Oh, nice jamming tunes, too. Yeah. It's not showing the right thing, but... Fix. Fix, music, fix. We're on a hype. We're on hype. You did! You did! I got a shiny! Not the one I was looking for! Not the one I was looking for! But here he is! Not who I was looking for! But there he is! There's the boy! Here comes the boy! Hello, boy! Welcome! There he is! He is here! I'm gonna name him Troll. He feels like a troll to me. Hello! Can you rate a nickname, please? Can I name this little guy? It's not a fine nickname. You're a liar. His name is gonna be Troll. Actually, his name's gonna be Sour Patch. I like that. I like that. Sour Patch, because he's a Sour Patch Kid. Because he's definitely sweet. And he looks like he's made of candy. Done. From now on, this Pokemon shall be known as Sour Patch. Oh, I don't need to rate another name. Thank you, sir. Okay, we're gonna move one of these eggs. I want to meet him. I want to play with him. I don't think I'm gonna evolve him. I know that Grimmsnarl is like a really cool shiny. But he's cute like this. He's just cute and small. I just realized I didn't fix the album art. I got distracted. There it goes. Hey, Sour Patch! Sour Patch! Look, hi! Hello! You have a little silver tongue. Get it! Come on! Get it! I can't believe I got like a random shiny. I guess I could put him on my layout as a 277 encounter shiny. I do think this means I broke my chain for Cottonee, but that's fine. That is okay. But I think that's probably a great place to stop for the night. It's getting late for me anyway. I was probably gonna wrap up here in about 10 minutes or so. We got a friend. We're gonna make him some curry though. Welcome him to the team. Hi, buddy. You can be worried about his surroundings. Let's chat. Our Patch looks like he wants to play with other Pokemon. Okay, go play. Goodbye. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. And thank you so much for hanging out tonight. It was really great. Chatting with you. All your comments were very kind. I really appreciate it. I really hope you're having a great night too. And we're gonna end by making our new friend some food. Let's give him apple. I have many apple. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's a long journey, but I hope to one day get there. Let's give him some Kelpsie berries, because they're the same color as him. Alright, time to spam the A button. I'm ready! We're playing Mario Party now! No! fire! Fire! Burn, baby, burn! Let's make some curry! Burn, baby, burn! Alright, now we stir. We stir, stir, stir! Ah! Too fast. Too much stir. Too much stir. I was not prepared for a shiny Impidimp at all. I've been working on my shiny charm in Sun, and every time I encounter something in Sun, I'm like, oh. Oh. But like I was fully not prepared. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it really was like an anime arc. But yeah, it was nice hanging out. I appreciate you stopping by. Sparkly. Ah. Ah. Copperaja class. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. 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 But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. I really hope you have a wonderful evening. And thank you so much for coming to the stream. Here's our new little friend who just so happened to come hang out with us tonight as well. I hope you have a great one. And I will probably be streaming sometime next week. I've been trying to do this at least once a week, probably during this usual time in the evenings. So if you ever see me live and you'd like to swing by, feel free. You can also follow me on Twitter. I will be posting whenever I go live on there, as well as random art and things. So thank you so much for coming. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Remember to take care of yourselves. And with that, I'll probably look and see if there's anyone we can raid while I keep playing with this little buddy. Let me see. It doesn't look like... Let's see if I can find a new friend to raid. Or you know what? I'll just go... We got a little small group today, so I'll just go without a raid, but if you'd want to, I'm probably gonna go check out Robert Ross later. He's playing Gartic Phone with animators and artists, which is always fun and chaotic, but a little bit more, adult than I usually am. Because they can get a little bit crazy. But, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week, even though there's only Friday left. And so I hope you have a great weekend. And take care of yourselves. Stay safe. I've been Ray, and now I will send you on your way. Thank you so much for coming. Have a great day.